into the hairpin, ready to complete this lap. Then it's Speedy, Orange, and Mallard, who has had a wonderful recovery up to 4th spot. Pinky Panther, Cloudy has fallen back. Firo, Stinger, Starry, Hart, Shimmer, Fenrir, Arif, Cerulean, Thunder, Mocha. Razzie gets 3rd place for that marble for the Hazers. Momo fallen all the way back to 5th spot right now. Speedy. Fastest lap. Oh, looking back there, there's a lot of speed from Mocha. Pressuring Stinger, who was up there in the top 3, but has fallen all the way back behind Arif. Stinger in 12th spot. The lead has continued to come down. No, Cloudy has the lead over Speedy. Mallard fallen back down there into 6th. Still better than the 12th where Mallard started. Cloudy, who began this race in 4th, still holds the lead with just a couple to go. Was holding back Billy. Ecto is up there. Glimmer, Frost, Clementon, Red Eye, who started dead last and is now into the top 10. Misty and Club back in 11th now. Nice moves there from Raspberry Racers, I believe. Rizzy made up a couple of spots on the sand. There's Billy trying to get in the draft of Pinky Winky just off camera there. 0.06 of a second. Royal and Swifty up front loses a few lengths. Pinky Winky still doing a great job, a valiant effort to hold on to 3rd spot, but for how much longer? And I can no sooner get it out than Ecto goes by into 3rd. There you see Red Eye in the distance. Coming through here, Bolt gets by Rizzy on the sand. Rizzy has kind of struggled off and on that sand portion. The Rangers have struggled overall. They are not making up positions, holding in 10th right now. Halfway done with this 2nd Grand Prix. The field's still relatively bunched close, with a little bit of separation here and there. Up front, Royal holds the lead. Ecto, Red Eye has gotten by Swifty. This is the Red Eye that we are used to seeing, not the dead last in qualifying. Still many laps to go, though. Ecto over Royal, Red Eye, Glimmer. Swifty has fallen back to 5th. Pinky Winky 6th. Frost, Misty, Rizzy, and Billy in 10th. The Rangers' home hopes have fallen all the way down to 17th now. Going backwards is Clementon. Number 6, opting for that inside line coming into that right hairpin in sector number 1. A couple are choosing to go over that attenuator. Look at the speed they're carrying here as they descend onto the sand. Is anybody going to make some big moves here? Well, we had a couple of launches almost to the Chocolatiers farther back, but they couldn't complete that one as they sit in dead last. Chocolatiers, of course, winners at this race last year. Bon was a 1/10.5 between them. Royal and Ecto, Cobalts versus Team Plasma. They are 5 lengths apart. Swinging around through this first sector, they go to the inside. Royal covering off that move, but there, on the exit briefly. Ecto got by. Will it stick? No. Royal fights back, trading positions, and Royal handling the sand much better, able to get a... Swifty has fallen back. Glimmer is going to try to charge on Red Eye. Tumult up to 12th, still holds fastest lap. The Rangers, 19th. Let's not talk about that. Royal, couple of laps to go now, with a nice gap over Ecto, but Red Eye closing in on 2nd place, trying to make amends for what was a disappointing start to the season. Doing much better here, this field, of staying pretty close, even though Bumblebees are not going to be happy with their finishing positions. That serious weaving in between challenge. And we're rolling. Pinky Panther gets the better start. Oh, but then gets caught up on the curves and goes from 1st to 5th in a series of 2 corners. It's Royal all the way from 8th to 1st place, and a nice gap as they shoot through the banking for the very first time. Royal leads Mimo. Speedy is weaving back and forth, trying to keep them behind Misty and Pinky Panther as they head into that far hairpin drop around the banking. You can see Speedy taking a tighter line. How will that work as they head into the hole at the lead? Very close. Speedy perhaps going to use that interesting line through the banking to take 1st place. They're staying where they are for right now. The field's spreading out a little bit. You can see Clutter back behind where We've seen that marble before, unfortunately, just not here at Sakura Garden. Royal. Then it is Pinky Panther. Speedy, very close. Misty, Mimo. Firo gets by Mimo, as I say that. Iceberg, Arup, Shimmer, and Quasar. Royal leads Speedy. Misty. Firo is up to 4th. Iceberg, Arup, Pinky Panther has fallen all the way back to 7th. Fenrir, Mimo, and Quasar rounding out the top 10. Firo started all the way back in 9th. Is now up to 4th. As I say that, drops to 5th. This is very close between all of these. Oh, we got a new fastest lap. Razzie resets it to 21.40. That's a nice low number that might continue to come down. Of course, all these teams visiting this track for the very first time, getting a handle on its lines and its idiosyncrasies. As they learn it, they've only had one qualifying. Billy has made up a spot, by the way. Here we take a look at the start-finish line. Swifty comes through. Momentary challenge from Starry, but then it goes back the other direction. Cloudy has made it up to 3rd spot. Tumult fallen back to 4th. There you can see Orangin, who won this race back in Season 1, mired in the middle of the pack. That marble knows how to conquer these 23 turns, so a lot of eyes seeing what can. Cloudy holding back Rima, Tumult, Ecto, Club, Bumble, Sirius, and Glimmer rounding out the top 10. Orangin comes up to 11th. Red-Eye falling backward now, 2nd to last. Billy up to 15th. The gap up front is 1.3 seconds for Starry. Chalk now takes fastest lap, 31.87. We are seeing improvement. Look at some of the lines these marbles are taking into that first turn. Some choosing to launch high up on the curbs. Others, when it counts, it's just a matter of holding that lead through the rest of the lap. Oh, a 3-way battle there for 2nd place, and here we go once again. This time it's Rima going up to the top spot. Could it be that Swifty is letting these other marbles do the pacing through these most difficult turns? Let them tire themselves out. Let them make the choices for where they want to run. Swifty knows that you can stay within striking distance, and actually right before the accelerator, you just saw it on the edge of your screen there, Swifty took back P1. Also making moves is right there, Orangin. 3rd sector here for Rima, who is ever so closer to Swifty. Take a look farther back in the field. Red-Eye now runs dead last. I'm glad the camera lingered there just a moment because, wow, here comes Swifty down through sector number 1. Orangin still holding in 7th spot. Still plenty of time for that marble to try to make it 2 in a row here at Greenstone, at least. As now Rizzy takes that infamous 20th position. Little bumps on the inside of that turn there. Nearly every marble doing it. Oh, Bumble did not, however, and makes up 2 spots as a result. Final couple of laps. Just under 1.5 seconds is the lead by Swifty, who has managed this race as calmly as can be. The fans willing Billy to keep climbing up the order. Has gotten up to 13th. They'd love a top 10 here after a disaster of a qualifying, but will it happen? Also, what about the Cobalt? Cerulean back there in just 18th. We're taking a look at this great battle. Back and forth they go. Frost gets by. Cerulean trying to capitalize on momentum from teammate Royal, who won 2 straight and is getting a well-deserved rest this weekend as we head into the final lap. Jump up to 4th in front of Iceberg, Misty, and Mallard. Orangin, had to fend off Arup, looking to the inside as they come through the banking here for the 2nd time. Many different lines. It's a wonderful view that you can see from up there. Looking to the inside also, and seeming pin out of the backstretch. Half a second is the lead for Momo in front of Arup, Orangin, Misty, Pinky Panther, Mallard, Royal, who'd been up to 4th, now back to 7th, Swifty, Iceberg, and Bolt. These marbles are absolutely fearless. Oh, hang on. Oh, we get a brief yellow flag. I'm hearing from timing and scoring that something with Bolt, but Bolt is rolling again. Now, we did see Shimmer have some trouble coming onto the conveyor belt. during the qualifying sessions in Q2, but that was a different point of the track where Bolt apparently got stuck or had some issue. Oh, Swifty was right on the back of Royal as they came through that accelerator. It looks like has stayed there. Royal fended him off. They are oh so close. Momo, Arup, and Orangen. Up front, a couple of lengths back then to Royal, who has regrouped and has third place as they come across the line. Orangen fallen 0.3 of a second is the lead for Team Momo. Orangen looking for something to happen there. Swifty and Iceberg coming very close together as they exited the belt. Looking a little farther back in the order, Mallard has fallen all the way down to 11th. Oh look, 0.8 of a second up front between Momo and Arup. We get a new fastest lap, and it's Clutter, 20.91. The crowd is happy about that, and they should be. 18th up to 5th right now. Clutter is trying to knock on the door of the top 5 and maybe a podium, but Clutter drops back 2, 3 positions, 4 positions now. Well, when chaos is in your name, I suppose the unexpected can happen at any moment. Immediately falls all the way back to 9th. Side by side is Orangen and Swifty as they come off of the belt. Orangen, the better of the two, through the accelerator, and they will stay that way. Mallard continues to fall and gets mired back and forth with Clutter. Meanwhile, up front there, Momo and Arup. Royal is also trying to get in the mix, but is well back of Misty, that gap rather, between 2nd and 3rd. Nearly 1 second lead for Momo, trying to keep it clean. All the way back at the back of the pack, Shimmer behind Ecto, behind Chalk, behind Fenrir, and Bumble. Nice little drift move there, Misty and Royal seesawing back and forth, forcing each other to opt for different sides of that split. Royal is the better for it. Subtle banks off that chevron, and these final curves, by the way, through that last turn, back in 9th place. Still looking for a nice points haul, and who knows, maybe there is time to get up there and challenge for the top 5. We'll have to see. Swifty gets by Blue Eye, who has also been climbing up the order ever so slightly. Blue Eye up in 8th, no, now goes down to 9th. Momo's lead is 1.75 seconds. It is growing the first sector. Razzie resets fast lap at a 20.52, but Razzie all the way down there in 13th. Royal finally with a bit of clear space, trying to mount a challenge for Momo, but look at that gap. That is a wonderful view of just how far ahead Momo is. Heading into the final lap, it's 3.5 seconds. Unreal. That was a very close. I think there was 1/100th between Arup and Royal. Yes, indeed. Arup has gotten by for 2nd place on the final lap. Weaving through the final sector. There will not be a challenge to the leader, but who will come 2nd? Arup holding the line, comes across in 2nd place. And we're rolling. Billy a bit slow out of the gate, but does manage to get to that turn first and is already challenged by Cloudy, who streaks by and goes into the lead. Cloudy from 5th position has a great start. But here comes Thunder right behind. Many marbles opting for different lines coming through that drop. Cloudy going up on the curves, but holding P1 for now. Thunder half a second back. Billy has fallen to 3rd. Red Eye has come all the way up from 9th to 4th place. Our 2nd place runner of 16. But that's Cerulean careening back and forth from wall to wall, coming off of the belt, but doesn't seem to pay a large price for it. Great view coming off of the banking. You can see the different lines as they snake their way through the trees. Those evergreens delightfully covered in snow. Cloudy's lead is over a second now. Red Eye just 1 season ago, even if it did not translate into a win. Field still pretty close together. Tumult in last. Oh, there's Speedy, I believe, making some good moves, weaving through and trying to make up some positions, but starting so far back. And hey, Cloudy resets fastest lap. It's coming down. Nearing the halfway point. We are not there yet. The gap, 6 6/10 between them. Rima now resets fastest lap at a 20.09. The track is rubbering in a bit. It's getting faster. Perhaps that's because the track temperature started so cold. Once you get some action out there, it's bound to heat up a bit. Our pole sitter Billy just disappearing off the bottom of the screen there in 5th place behind Rima. The lead up front has shrunk once more. Just under 0.2 of a second. The rest of the field so far down through 12th. Under 7 seconds between them. Even Tumult is just 10 seconds back. A bit of a skip there for Cloudy. Does that slow the speed and let Red Eye make a move for the lead here? We can see some marbles back there coming off of the banking, struggling to get their speed down, bounding off of the curves. The lead almost doubled the speed that Cloudy is able to carry down that straightaway. Oh, very close between these marbles back here, as Speedy makes one spot, perhaps two, and tries to make another one before the belt, but is still back there in 16th place, mired in the pack. Lead here for Cloudy and Red Eye over Thunder is growing. There are some good battles farther back in the pack, however, while the leaders are holding station. How much are they saving for the end of this race? There's some inventive lines there. Back to the left right there. Speedy making another position coming off of the belt, and another one down that backstretch. Into the banking, Speedy also gets by Mocha, but cannot hold it. The lead staying about the same up front, down to these final few laps. And Thunder 3 seconds behind and a touch quicker through the entry into the slaloms. We see Nemo back in 15th place. That is very surprising for a marble that started in 3rd. Completely going backwards. Here's Speedy once again, almost gets 2 more spots on that straightaway as we've seen done before. Speedy holding in 12th spot, slowly climbing the order. 1, 2 marbles at a time, sometimes falling back 1 spot, and then going up again. You see the entirety of the field back to Tumult. The Balls of Chaos, they are not enjoying this season one bit. I think they're more looking forward to the hot chocolate in the locker rooms after this. The lead has expanded over 1.25 seconds between Cloudy and Red Eye up front. It was very difficult to use those phrases here in Marbula One. Oh, this is going to be very close. It's changing quickly. Oh, it's very close between them. Heading into the final lap. 0.02 of a second. I knew as soon as we went to that finish line cam, this was shaping up to be close. 1 more lap. Cloudy and Red Eye. A little bit farther back there, Speedy getting past and falling backwards to 13th place. In the meantime, Cloudy comes across and holds it from Red Eye. Red Eye comes up into 2nd place. Off the belt for the first time. Who handles it best? Oh, look at that gaggle of marbles all together into that far hairpin as they drop through and end the first sector down the straightaway. Tumult is making up some ground and comes up into 5th spot there, but nobody challenging Clementon at the front. We do have a new fastest lap, and you will see it's a very short one, 17:01. This is a course that comes at you very quickly. Remo was challenging Red Eye off of the conveyor belt, but couldn't get it done, and in fact lost a position to Speedy in the process. As they drop through here, sometimes going 2 and 3 wide. You have to make up your decision which side of that split you want to go to. Clementon leads by over 0.5 seconds. Red Eye in 2nd, then Speedy, Rima, Ecto, Momo, Stinger, Quasar, Hart, and Cloudy has plummeted down the order back to 10th. Wasn't even close. Speedy takes the top spot. Rima goes up into 2nd place. Ecto is there. Clementon, Red Eye also in the fight. Oh, look at that battle up front. Speedy and Rima winding back and forth. And I think Rima's gotten it done. Yes, they're going to be side by side coming up the conveyor belt. And Clementon steals P1. Clementon takes the lead of this race with contact to Rima, leaving that marble out to dry for Red Eye. But Red Eye cannot pass yet. Rima has fallen back to 5th. Red Eye now into 2nd place. And what's the gap here? Oh, several marbles very close together. Momo and Speedy just 1/10 or 100th of a second apart. Cloudy tips Hart and goes up into 8th. Ecto falling down to 6th. Meanwhile, at the back of the field, Pinky Winky is all the way last, behind Billy, behind Mocha, behind Sirius, and behind Shimmer. Clementon, a second and a half ahead of Red Eye. Speedy in 3rd. Momo, Ecto, Rima, Cerulean, Cloudy, Hart, and Thunder. Quasar just off of the top 10. The speed differences for some marbles coming off of that drop have been tremendous. Others seem to be getting into a groove with it now. Red Eye has just taken half a second off of Clementon's lead. Through the first sector, each of those top 4 or 5 marbles having some space between them, and that lets them focus on their line. But laps are quickly running out. We saw the 3-lap pole shootout in Q2, done in under a minute. That gap continues to come down. Red Eye has carved another up front. There's the view as they take turn 1. Big gap back there. Wow. The field really spreading out in places. We're still waiting for Pinky Winky. There we go. Wow, that's everybody. Could we see a marble get lapped here? Clementon responded very strongly. A 1.8 second lead, a second and a half gained over Red Eye on that lap. But is that a matter of Clementon really pushing, or is Red Eye saving some in the tank for a final challenge in the few laps remaining? Here it comes back. Now half a second between them. Speedy goes fastest lap, takes 200ths off. With more speed down that backstretch, closes up. Down 2 lengths behind. They come across the line. They're going to be 1 step and 400ths of a second apart. Who gets the better jump off the conveyor belt? By Speedy, as does Cloudy, back up into 4th place. Could a podium be in the cards for the Hazers? New fastest lap goes to Quasar. Accelerator shoots off through the banking, and our first time through the electron shells, we've got marbles leaping over several of them all at once. Arup holds over a half a second lead from Mimo. Off the belt they come, and look at the positions changing all the time. Oh man, that's Blue Eye back there, nearly in dead last, although Pinky Panther is well off the back of the field. I mentioned those coaches' decisions. Could the coach of the Crazy Cat's Eyes be having that conversation? All right, Mallard in 2nd place, coming through the accelerator, chasing Arup. Royal comes up into 3rd, through the banking, and well handled through those electron shells. Lose positions. That is the chicane where Mallard made the move that was definitive in Q2 to get pulled. These kind of races will make or break a championship if you are in the hunt. Not a great starting position. Could have been worse, of course, but Royal gets fastest lap and is in 2nd place. Now falls back to 3rd as they meander their way through this first sector. There was a nice battle there with Swifty, Rizzy, and Fenrir. Fenrir comes up into 9th place. That's a team that, not good in positioning. Both team members have 8 points, and that is pretty low in the standings. Nemo working alongside there, going the inside line. Looking back at the chicane. 3 wide down that straightaway. Orangin battling with Club and Fenrir. Firo also in the mix. Taking lane number 2 there for Starry through the electron shells. There is Mallard. Oh man, Mallard is doing well to get back up into 2nd place over the shoulder and went directly over the split. That lets Mallard get by into 2nd place, but still has 1 full second to make up to track down Starry. Looking farther back now, behind those top 3, it's Arup, Clutter, Club, Nemo, Orangin, Fenrir, Swifty, Firo, Rizzy, Misty, Chalk, Glimmer, Bolt, Frost, Bumble, Blue Eye, and Pinky Panther. There's Rizzy going around the outside, and now sets up for Firo. Oh, the gap has come down up front. Look at the scoring pylon there, under 0.3 of a second between shooting through the banking into the electron shells, taking that far outside line. That actually worked pretty well for Mallard, and it gives that marble fastest lap. 24.85 is the new mark to beat. And we've got several marbles that are going to be side by side as they come up the belt. Look at Orangin climbing up through the order, now into 4th place. Rizzy Locked in another battle there with Firo coming oh so close. There's Fenrir and Misty, the latter of whom is in 13th in the standings. He's had a couple weekends off, though. The lead is just under 0.4 of a second for Mallard over... Backstretch. This is a very technical sector here, and Blue Eye has had trouble. Fallen back to 4th spot, and it's Arup up in P1. Momo in 2nd place. That marble had briefly flirted with the lead coming through Q2 in the shootout for pole. Coming off the belt, Blue Eye has lost another position. Quasar, the fan favorite here, is fallen. And listen to the cheer. Quasar takes fastest lap, 26.31. Blue Eye hanging in 5th in a nice battle with Orangen right there. Iceberg right behind them. Then it's Tumult, Swifty, Ecto, Cloudy, Club, Rizzy, Cerulean, Shimmer, Bolt, Billy, Pinky Panther, Sirius, and Stinger. Of course, Cloudy in the hunt for the championship. Oh, look at this battle going on right now. Right in between them. Perfect timing right there. And meanwhile up front, Momo holds the lead. Cloudy does take fastest lap. 26 to try to break the draft with Momo, and that does not work. Although now Momo is having to defend against Arup, who does get by in that double right-hander to end the lap. That is a prime passing opportunity, as we saw in qualifying. Top 2 off the belt take different lines. Mocha has Arup covered. Oh, not anymore, though. Arup does get by P1, and then Mocha, Orangen, Tumult, Quasar in 5th spot, still holding into that top 5. But look at the battle between those 2 silver marbles in front of Momo. Who was that shot by? That was Swifty. Great move coming off of the accelerator, but Swifty cannot continue it and will lose a position before the belt and might have gotten one back there at the same time. Quasar up into 4th. This place is raucous, hoping that Quasar, who stumbles coming off of the conveyor belt, can hold this position. Having to defend mightily, and it will not work to Swifty. Oh, but look at Quasar fighting right back. Blue Eye has fallen to 7th spot right now after the hopes of the Crazy Cat's Eyes were peaking, hoping that maybe they were finally back on form. Cloudy still holds fastest lap, but has fallen down to 10th spot. That is a marble that is leading the individual championship right now. Quasar and Orangen. Quasar does have plenty of time to track down Arup and give these home fans perhaps a win. Either way, a podium would be massive. Get back to that thought, by the way. Next up in the lineup for individual championship is Speedy, not in this race. That's Swifty for the Savage Speeders. Then Orangen is in 5th, so a 2nd place in this race would actually work decently well, but second year did have that beam split. It was reprofiled slightly. It's gotten shorter. And now Pinky Panther, they're in last place as we take a look at the entire field streaming down off of the conveyor belt. Arup is the leader to the tune of 0.8 of a second. Then a gap back to Quasar and Mocha. Swifty, Blue Eye has recovered up to 6th. Club, Tumult, Momo, Cerulean, who still holds fastest lap. Bolt, Shimmer, Ecto, Rizzy, Cloudy down in 15th now. Billy in 16th as Ice gets by, Iceberg gets by. Stinger, Sirius, and Pinky Panther. Getting into the final few laps now. Cerulean and Bolt, we're watching in the middle of our picture, getting very close, coming off of the accelerator. And hey, we have a new fastest lap, and it is the leader, taking a big chunk off of that fastest lap time. In fact, 25.22. Arup is trying to gap Orangen. Quasar is in a bit of space, but is starting to pick up the draft of Orangen, coming through sector number 1. That is advantageous to Quasar and Team Galactic if there's a gap back to Swifty, because 1, Quasar doesn't have to worry about Swifty, and 2, Mocha might get a run on Swifty as well, so the attention will have to go backwards. Yes, and there they came together, in fact, Swifty and Mocha. There's Blue Eye weaving in between and almost gets them both. Club shoots the gap and goes up to 4th spot. What an opportunistic move in the final few corners of the lap. What's the lead up top now? Arup, Quasar in 2nd place over Orangen. Club, Blue Eye, Mocha, Swifty, and Tumult. Momo and Shimmer rounding up the top 10. Shooting now through the accelerator, most marbles opting to ride the curbs at the far hairpin there. Arup's lead, 1.5 seconds heading into the final lap. These top 3 marbles separated by 1 length, and Red Eye goes up into P1. That was a heck of a first lap. The defending individual champion, Red Eye, causes a collision there, and we've seen that in a few corners of this track. Marbles can hit either the wall or each other just right, and they stop almost completely. Down here in the second sector, we saw that happen in qualifying. Oh, somebody's having some trouble back there. Was that Speedy not taking any defensive lines yet, focusing ahead as this marble often does. Speedy, Mimo, Mallard, Bumble, Clementon, Red Eye. Oh, back and forth battle there. Royal and Clementon, and Frost also getting in the fight there. We are on lap 5. Oh, almost 5 marbles there. Coming down the straightaway, Royal falls backward to 12th spot. Even if things don't shake out up front for Speedy, that's not enough for Royal. That would mean that Momo is the champion. Those 2 marbles have to get things going. Speedy is in second place right now, as through the hairpin we see several marbles getting right up together with each other. Rima, Firo, Clutter also up there. We see Royal weaving back and forth behind them. Royal has to get a move on here. Red Eye, nearly 2-second lead up front. Well, Red Eye may actually hold this lead to the end. That would make Momo the individual champion, but look at this. Royal is now up into 10th spot. That's an interesting look down toward that far quick chicane. Look at how fast the marbles. Lots going on here. Clementon holding the lead. Speedy now back in 4th, and again needs to win this race to be the champion. Otherwise, it's going to be Momo as it currently runs. Red Eye still holds fastest lap. That is worth 1 point. As they drop on through, some trouble there with Nemo. It's Red Eye over Clementon, Bumble, Speedy, Mallard, Frost, Firo, Rima, Nemo, who gets by Rima, Hart in 10th for the home team. Chalk, Royal all the way down in 12th. Razzie, the Crazy Cat's Eyes have the lead once again. Looking farther back, Royal is in 10th, needs a few spots. Oh, Royal falls back to 11th. Speedy is still 4th. There are just a few laps to go. Three teams coming into this round, tied at the top of the standings. It's Hazers, Team Primary, and Savage Speeders. Then it's the O'Rangers back in 4th. Right now, 1.36 seconds is the lead. Red Eye over Bumble, and we are now in the penultimate lap. The gap's quite wide among those top 4. Is Speedy about to fold in the hopes for winning a championship? Royal, all the way back in 13th, has not been able to get a rhythm going. And for a marble that has looked so good over the course of this season, won 2 straight back in round 2 and round 3. Another podium right after that. This would be a disappointing finish to the season. Oh, contact there